picture here. I've decided, you probably would have gathered by now, I decided to cut the whole Africa and rest of the week vlog into two halves because it just got really too long. So I'm just jumping on here now to say here is part 2, and I'll pick up at the end and catch up with what else I've been doing. So let's roll the video. So I'm back. I think you would have seen on the screen it's Tuesday. I'm actually tucked up on the sofa with a blanket. I'm so cold, like really cold. I've got my old bee cardigan on. My gosh, where do I begin? Well, I've edited the vlog, yes, thus far. So what I'll do, I'll give you a recap of all the things that you didn't see or I didn't tell you about, and then I'll tell you, if you saw the community post that I put up, why it took so long to get home. So brace yourselves, hope you sat down, it's going to be a long waffle. So let's start with Rwanda. As I said, I was literally there for two full days, which were both taken up with meetings, which went fantastically well. So can't complain about that. Kigali, or Kigali, the capital of Rwanda, was fantastic. It was so clean, immaculately clean. The traffic was great, people friendly, it felt so safe. We mainly, I think you would have seen the city that we were mainly driving around, what I could film for you. I do hope I get to go back, and I would love to see the gorillas. There was a couple of things. So I read up, about the do's and don'ts when you visit a country or a city. It's always good to be, just make sure that you follow etiquette and don't, upset or offend or, put your foot in it. So I'd heard or researched that, don't mention the genocide, which I found really strange because everybody we spoke to referred to it. It's like the reset point that everybody refers to. So we didn't speak about, what actually happened during the genocide, but everybody we spoke to referred to it. Unfortunately, I didn't get time to visit the Genocide Museum. My colleague who I was with, I think we could have maybe crammed it in if we'd have sort of really been tight with our timing, but she didn't feel up to it, and I think it would be quite harrowing, but for me, I did want to see it, so hopefully if I get to go back I could do that. But there was no mention about what actually happened, but yeah, they're very open, and they say they talk about it, not specifics, but yeah, just about how things have improved. So what else can I say about Rwanda? Oh, apparently this might happen in a few other African countries, but there's one, I think it's like one Saturday of the month that everybody has to down tools, stop what they're doing, and they spend the day cleaning. So gardening, sweeping, they clean the entire city. I'm not sure if it's the entire country, but for sure the city, and that's why it's immaculate. Take pride in where you live, keep it a nice place for everybody, and you see it. It was just, I keep using the word, it was just immaculate. I'm trying to think of anything else. I haven't got anything else to really talk about with Kigali because it was so brief, the visit. I think there was a shot of where I panned around, and we went to like a rooftop restaurant. We didn't eat there, we just went to check it out. To be honest with you, it didn't look great, but the views are spectacular. Thank goodness. I was wearing I've got like a lanyard on my phone, so I carry my phone on like it's a handbag, because I thought it was a window. So I leaned out with the camera. I almost dropped it because I didn't realise there was no glass in it, and there was a guy sat at the bar, a staff member, and he was howling with laughter. You thought it was hilarious, but that was almost close because we were very high up. A few people talked about the village. One of the taxi drivers that we had said, I want to invite you to come to the village. I realised there's a huge township in the city, but again, we didn't go in it, but just driving past, compared to South Africa townships, it looked really nice. And I think he said that apparently the government has planned to have that there are proper roads in the village by 2027. Apparently it's quite safe. You can go in there, with a host and eat with them, and of course you pay them something. That's the whole point of it. But I don't know if I would do it. But if you are of the adventurous type, I think you'd be perfectly safe. The crime rate in Rwanda is very low. Anyway, so that was Rwanda, and then you would have seen that we arrived in Cape Town eventually, because we had to do a connecting flight via Kenya and Nairobi. Sorry, that's Daxter. Psh! He's scratching my armchair, sorry. So we arrived in Cape Town. I think it was quite late. And we stayed, I think you would have seen on the screen that we stayed at the Southern Sun Cullinan. So I'm trying to think back. I went to visit there in December of last year, so I knew what to expect. It's a great hotel, very nice. It's opposite the CTICC, which is the Cape Town Congress Centre. So it's a bit noisy. Again, that whole area is very safe. They've kind of got like the city bowl, like they call it, on lockdown. So it was fantastic. We Ubered, or we had a hotel driver everywhere we went, just because we were also in a rush. And even though it feels quite safe, I wouldn't walk around at night. Definitely not. So you would have seen on the Saturday, the Saturday after we got there, we hired a driver from the hotel, so we knew it was okay. Ironically, the driver was actually Rwandan. And we were telling him that we'd literally flown in from Rwanda that night. Really nice guy. I think he called Eric, the guide. So he was really sweet, very chatty, and everything was possible. We even kept him out later than we'd booked, so we gave him extra money for that. And what I think I filmed on the night before we flew home, there was just the two of us then. Our other colleague had gone on to Uganda, and then we went to a restaurant called Heaven. Apparently there's two, one on each side of the building. Infusion, I think, was one, and Heaven. And the Heaven is the one where you get African food. So we tried a real typical Rwandan dish called isombe, which is like a green stew made with cassava leaves and beans and rice. It was very nice. So it was just nice to try. We wanted something authentic. It was really funny because we went to Heaven and our waitress was Angel. She was fantastic. Couldn't do enough for us. Service was fantastic. Now, the weird thing is, we hadn't heard about this. All we'd heard about in the news was, what's it called? Monkeypox. And everywhere we went to, they took our temperature and you had to hand sanitize everywhere. And we said, but COVID is pretty much, like a regular cold flu kind of thing now. And one of the hotels that we went to visit, I think it was the Marriott, we got talking to the restaurant manager, and he said, "Oh, it's the Marburg virus." We had to look it up. So apparently we got to Rwanda a week after they've just come out of lockdown. Apparently this virus was discovered in a hospital out in the countryside somewhere, and the government just instantly, within days, locked it down. So wherever you were stuck there. And I think they were in lockdown, I think it was for about a month, and they practically eradicated it. So that was impressive, because when I went to, if you saw the vlog where I went to the UK, there were signs up in the airport about the monkeypox, but nothing about this Marburg virus, which apparently is a real nasty one. So yeah, again, super, precautions in place, safety. So yeah, they seem to have Rwanda's really, I think Kigali is definitely a city to watch. I think it's really up and coming. I think a lot of East Africa could learn from them, without talking about the political stuff, of course. Anyway, so off we go. We went to Cape Town, so you would have seen that. We got there quite late. As I said, we hired a driver. Now our other so there was one other colleague arrived. We were supposed to fly out together, but then we changed and went to Rwanda. That was a last minute thing. So he had already arrived, and we said, well, we've kind of got a meeting planned Saturday morning, so just do your own thing. He'd been there all day Friday, so Saturday he'd arranged to go on a tour. I think he went to Cape Point maybe, which I've done before. My other colleague hadn't, but we said, well, we'll see. We didn't have time to do it, but who knows, in another time she can visit. So we were done with our meeting, we got a driver and off we went. So I said, just take us to we just drive us through the country. We come back down Chapman's Peak Drive, and there you can stop off at little villages or towns along the way. So the first stop we went to Simonstown, where there's the famous Boulders Beach, and ironically that's one of the places I've never got to visit. So we didn't go onto Boulders Beach. There was like an hour queue. You have to pay. You can't even go down onto the beach at that point. And you, from behind a fence, you can see the penguins. So our driver said, no, we walk along it's like a wooden boardwalk along the edge. And we walked along, as you would have seen, there was loads of penguins. Oh my gosh, they stink. I've seen the African penguins before, because on Robben Island, where Nelson Mandela and all the other political prisoners were, they have a colony of African penguins there, and they're everywhere. So anyway, that was cute. I didn't film it, but we saw a little family of dasses, which are like rodents about so big. They look a little bit like an overgrown guinea pig, I would say. Again, I've seen dassies. They have them on Table Mountain. I've seen them in Durban. So for me, it was like, oh yeah, that's a dassie. My colleague was like, oh, that's interesting to see. Now, on the way back to the car, what do you know it? Our other colleague was stood in the queue waiting to go into Boulders Beach. So we said, well, if you want, you can tag along with us. And he said, well, I only want to see the penguins. I said, walk with us. So we went back. He saw as many penguins as he could see. And he said, no, I'm done. I'll join you. So he ditched his group. There was a bunch of ladies who sort of, took him under the wing. And he said, oh, I've just met my colleagues. I'm going to go with them. And then one lady joked and said, blink twice if you're okay. So we were like, oh. So I said goodbye. And then he got in the car and joined us, which that was nice. Because then, otherwise he's seen all the sights with strangers, and he'd already done most of the things he wanted to see. So anyway, off we go. So our driver, now this is the thing. I knew that Hout Bay, since I had last gone, had really gone in decline, and it's not that nice. However, 20 years ago, it was a very nice, quite an affluent area. But I thought, well, he knows what he's doing. He's took us to some good places. So he drove us to the harbour. As soon as we got out the car, I didn't feel safe. It just the vibe. It was filthy dirty. There was a couple of groups who see like big old fat sea lions on the harbour wall, and they're just feeding them fish and doing tricks, and then you give them money. So I said, no, I don't need a picture with them. So as we walked, there was a restaurant on the corner that, ironically, Lawrence and I ate at the same place 20 years ago. It's obviously changed hands. It was more like a fish and chip kind of joint, and I said, I'm not eating here. I know this is going to be, diarrhea on a plate, just to be graphic. So, but they needed the loot. So as we were walking, my colleague got his camera out, and then, there was a ruckus. They just came swarming, shouting, you have to pay us money, you're taking a photo, you're stealing from us. And now, if you take a photo, you give them a donation. And they tell you that. And he'd literally got his phone out. There was a ruckus. So he hadn't even taken a photo. And there was only yak, yak, yak. And I could see, they're like pack animals, they come at you. So I said, just keep walking. I said, you didn't take a photo, just walk. So they went to the bathroom. I sat on a bench, and I just had an uneasy feeling. Bearing in mind, I live with a South African. I've been to South Africa. I hear all about how it is for the people living there, not on the tourist side. I just had a bad feeling. As we came out, I noticed one of the group, it was a young boy, came at the back of us. And the reason the reason I recognised him was he was wearing a bright yellow hoodie, and when we went in, I'd clocked him, and in a split second I thought, oh yeah, that's like Joshua's hoodie. So he stood out to me. So he came at the back of us. I said to my colleague, walk. As he came at the back of us, another one came at the side of us with a big pair of scissors. I thought, oh, here we go. In a split second, there was a police car behind us. The window was open. So I leaned in and I said, really loud and pointed, I didn't do it discreetly. I said, that man is walking around with a big pair of scissors. And the policeman said, don't worry, ma'am, we've seen it. As all this happened, the policeman on the passenger side got out. Before we knew it, we had 3 policemen in front of us, 1 at the back of us. And then the guy's saying, oh, it's for cutting up the fish. What are you doing? Now, all these people are drugged out of their head. Clearly, they are high as kites, teeth missing, very, very poor looking, filthy dressed. The sea lions don't belong to them. They feed them bits of old scrappy fish. It's an easy meal for them. At any point, they could just plop in the sea and they're gone, but they're not going to do it because they're getting fed. But I said to the policeman, I told him what had happened, and he said, don't worry, stay with me, you're safe, where is your driver? Now, at this point, we couldn't see the driver, and he said to us, I'm going to bring the car round, but there was no sign of him. So we stayed with him. Now, this guy with the scissors was yakking away, and clearly not afraid of the police, but did as he was told, and he backed off. Driver appeared, took us to the car, but they were still, they were coming at the car, put foot down, went. So, I spoke to Lawrence that evening, and I said to Lawrence, I'm convinced that he was going to stab my colleague with the scissors, the one who he thought took a photo. And Lawrence said the same, absolutely. My instinct was telling me that. So if you're ever going to South Africa, go to Cape Town, do not go to Hout Bay. It's a dump. It's not the nice place that it used to be many, many years ago, and it's actually really unsafe. So that was the only bad thing that happened to us. So you would have seen, so we, one day, we had our own private event at the Sightseeing, which is the South African, it's the museum, I can't even think straight, Museum of Contemporary something art. That's the Mucker. So that's it's like it's in the harbour, like a regeneration area. So that place would have been a dump many, many years ago. And what they've done, the old silos of the building, you would have seen, there's a lady who was playing a cello in like a big bauble, and there they've cut the silos on a curve. So when you look up, they've done a fantastic job. Contemporary modern art, not my thing. It was nice to see. I'm glad I didn't pay to go in. But on the Monday, we had a private event there on the terrace. I haven't got any footage from that. It was absolutely stunning. The only thing is, when you walk up to the terrace, it's like a big glass wall, and the backdrop is Table Mountain. And when you walk in, you go, oh, wow. Table Mountain was covered in clouds, so you couldn't see it. That was a shame, but not to worry. All our guests had a fantastic time. And then we knew we could go back on the Tuesday evening for the event that the Congress organisers organised for us. That was a private event. So then we got to see the whole museum, and we had a lovely like a running buffet. It was just a really great evening. So on Wednesday, the Congress closed about 3-ish, I thought, something like that. And they coached us all to the Kirstenbosch Botanical Gardens, which you would have seen. And that is actually, so Table Mountain from the harbour is very flat, but at the back it's just, craggy mountains. I've filmed that before when I went in December. So they'd hired the gardens for us. We had a picnic, beautiful picnic on the lawn. And then all private, everything closed down just for us. And then you would have seen some footage of the Cape Town Philharmonic Orchestra I've lost the programme, but they had 4 opera singers. Oh my gosh. I've watched the footage back, and the hairs on the back of my neck were stood on end. For me, that was the highlight of the week. It was fantastic. Then the Thursday there was another event. We were so tired. The Congress ended, so we had a team dinner. We went to the V&A waterfront, and we had a lovely dinner. Now, Friday, most of us, 7 of us, were due to fly home on a night flight. So we said, well, let's do wine tasting. Somebody recommended we went to this Steinberg estate, which is a vineyard, which is near Constantia. Now, it's like the place to go. You know, the influencers go there. If I'd have thought about it, I would have said no. Let's go to one of the old vineyards where they've got the white, the Dutch gable farmhouses. I just find that more rustic. But anyway, it was very swish, very fancy. So there were, I'm trying to think, 6 of us went. So Friday, we were all there, packed up. I think half an hour before we were leaving the hotel, I was on the toilet, and it wasn't good. Waiting in reception, had to run to the toilets a couple more times. 3 of our other colleagues also had said, I'm okay now, but my stomach had been a bit off. Luckily, another colleague who hadn't been with us had diarrhea tablets. I had them, but because I was flying home, I'd just thrown everything in my suitcase thinking, I'm going home now. So he had them to hand. So I popped a few of them. By the time the driver came, I was okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think the timeline. So off we go. 7 of us got to Cape Town, checked in, boarding cards, everything's, ready to go. We're at the gate, and we were waiting and waiting. And we're thinking something's not right here. Eventually there was an announcement. The plane had gone technical, which means there's something wrong with the plane. Waiting, and I said, the plane's not leaving. And some of my colleagues were like, no, that might not be the case, And I just said, no, my feelings telling me we ain't leaving tonight. Sure enough, the captain came out, made an announcement. The plane's grounded. They need parts for it. No flight tonight. So you can imagine, 300 passengers, it was chaos. So we said, okay, stick together, called the hotel. They had rooms for us, so that was great. We got our own driver. We didn't even wait for the airport to try and sort us out because it was just bonkers. Got back to the hotel, and then they'd rechecked us in for the same night flight the following night. Now, 4 of us said, yep, we'll do it. No, 5 of us said, yep, we'll do it. 2 said they'd been put on another flight, which one was, they were both scheduled on Sunday. Then our other colleague, okay, so backtrack. So Saturday, I'm trying to think, sorry, bear with me. So Saturday, that was it. We said, you know what, let's have a quiet day. Let's just hang around the hotel. We've got a beautiful swimming pool there, not to swim in because, the whole hotel sat there watching you. We had sun loungers, a few of them booked into the spa, had a massage. We just had a really, really lovely, quiet day. However, by this point, our stomachs were okay, except one. We had to call the doctor for one of my colleagues in the morning. She was really not well. I'm not saying it's from the winery, but it was the only place that all 6 of us had been together the day before, and all of us were ill in various degrees, but of the same illness. We didn't eat the same food. I don't know what on earth it was. It can't have been a bug. It was just odd. Anyway, fine. Doctor came, gave her a jab, gave her some other bits and bobs. By the time we were ready to leave that evening, she was well enough to fly. She said the medication, everything had helped. So we were all in good health, albeit tired. So I've said there was 5 of us on that night flight. One of our other colleagues was a bit nervous, so he left on his own a lot earlier than us. So the 4 of us set off really early, got to the airport. The check-in desks were all free, so the 4 of us walked. We had one each. And I was at the end and I was watching, and there was a lot of nervous people, and supervisors came, and one got a ticket, then the other one got a ticket, then the got to me, you've not got a seat. So trying, squeeze me in, bump off another passenger. This is the second time you've done this. No, we can't, blah, 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 blah. So the guys were really, I could see they were just so torn. And I said, I will be fine. Just get on the flight. I'm okay. Luckily, I'd overheard 3 ladies next to me were travelling together. They were staying at a hotel near me. So we stuck together, the 4 of us. A gentleman joined us, also bumped off the flight. Driver came. I think we were sat about 40 minutes at the airport. I was just going to order an Uber at this point, and the ground staff, the South African Airlines, the ground staff there were fantastic. KLM were useless. I'm so disgusted with them. So a driver came, dropped them off. I called the hotel, so I still had 2 colleagues at the hotel. Now, I still had my room because one of our senior staff members had already said, even with a late checkout, we were still, going to be sort of hanging around if you wanted a shower. So she said, we're paying for a room for the night. Even if you don't need it, you've got it. And then if you leave the hotel at like 8, 9 o'clock at night, you've just to take your time. So luckily, even though I checked out, my room was still paid for. Off I go. Told everybody I'm back, I'm alone. But so anyway, KLM had scheduled me on this flight, which, thinking about it, just didn't make sense. So they'd scheduled me on a flight the next night. So this was Sunday night. So bearing in mind, I was supposed to leave Friday. Sunday, they had me flying from Cape Town to Charles de Gaulle, Paris to Amsterdam. So, okay, fine. I can do a transfer, no problem. Next minute, it was within 30 minutes, notification. No, we've cancelled your flight from Paris to Amsterdam. You're now booked on another flight at like 20 to 7 in the morning. So I would have had another whole night layover in Paris. It's 4 hours in a car to drive from Paris to my house. So I was like, what to do? And then my other colleague said, I'm flying Cape Town, Johannesburg, Amsterdam, Sunday evening. Ignore what they're telling you. Phone KLM direct. So anyway, phone KLM direct, and he said, okay, I can put you on that flight. I've been downgraded. All 3, I was downgraded. My colleagues went on a 12-hour flight in economy, which is fine. If you're going on vacation, it's fine. But bearing in mind, we'd worked the whole week. We were all knackered. And, there was no say over where you sat. It was a case of you get what you're given. So I think their 12-hour flight was pretty horrendous, but they got home. So that meant, you would have seen some footage that I had Sunday. So my colleague, we went to Camps Bay. We had a nice brunch, walk around, came back to the hotel. She had a late checkout. So I just dumped all my cases off and we just relaxed for the day. So now, this is Sunday night. Off we go, back to Cape Town Airport. We got our flight with South African Airways or airline to Johannesburg. Fantastic. Staff couldn't do enough. Everything smooth. Even stopped at Johannesburg and just double checked that our baggage wasn't on the carousel, because we said, please check it all the way through to Amsterdam. I backtrack again. Leaving Rwanda, we flew Nairobi to Cape Town, and the ground staff, no, I can't remember. There was one of the more muddled up. One of the transfers in South Africa, the ground staff had said, don't trust them, go to the carousel. And sure enough, our bags were on the carousel. We'd have had no case probably for half the week. So I said to my colleague, let's not trust it. Went to the carousel. Our bags weren't there. Good. We were a little bit nervous because we had like an hour and a half transfer, which if our cases were there, it meant we did a domestic flight. It meant we would have had to go out, recheck in, international flight, hold security, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, it was cutting it fine. Another notification, your flight is 3 hours delayed. So that was pretty rubbish. I'd managed to get economy comfort, which is basically 10 extra centimeters leg room. That is it. I didn't mind, and I'd got an aisle seat. That was all they could give me. Eventually we got on the flight. I never sleep on planes. I was so tired I instantly fell asleep. I'd just gone into like a sleep, and I felt pushing my shoulder, and there was a man and an older daughter, like Joshua's age, sat next to me. We need the toilet. So I got up. Had to wait for ages. He came back. Thank you. Okay. So at this point, I'm awake again. So I put the TV on, and then I felt myself drifting. So I fall asleep again. 3 times they did that to me on the flight, like shook me, had to get up. The 3rd time I was annoyed. We had 3 hours before I landed, and I kind of told them off at this point. I said, look, as you've seen, I have not moved from my seat. I've been sleeping and you've woke me up 3 times. He said, oh, but my daughter's not well. I said, I understand that. I said, but why didn't you say the first time you woke me up that I could sit at the window seat and then you didn't have to disturb me? You've got a free access to go in and out as often as you needed. Oh, yeah. Would you like the window seat? I said, yes, please, because if she's ill, I'm not getting up again. My patience had run through because, bear in mind, I'd been trying to travel since Friday. Sat down, what do you know? Toddler behind me, kicking the seat. After about 15 minutes of this, I had to stand up, and I said to the mother, quietly, I said, sorry, I'm trying to sleep, I'm exhausted, and can you ask your child to not kick my seat? And she looked all shocked, like she hadn't noticed it. Give her a due, the kicking stopped. Anyway, eventually got to Amsterdam. Had to wait quite a while for the luggage. And then Lawrence was there waiting for me when I got out outside. Thank goodness. I got home. I think I saw William. I didn't see Joshua. Jack was like all happy to see me, and I said to Lawrence, "I've got to sleep. I'm exhausted. I'd not slept. I'd not had a good night's sleep since before I went to the UK. At this point, I'm just finished. Went to bed. I think I slept 4 hours. Woke up. Lawrence made dinner. I think I made it till about 9-10 o'clock, and then I slept through till I think 9 o'clock this morning. It's the best sleep I've had, I must say, in probably years. Lawrence is gone to the office. Lawrence asked me, and I said, oh my gosh, I had such good sleep. He said, you snored all night. Did you have your mask on? I said, I did. So, I don't know, I think I might have to call the hospital, because the fact that I've not been sleeping well for a few weeks, and then Lawrence said I was snoring, maybe the pressure's not good on it, we'll see. But anyway, so I've been off today. I've got tomorrow free. Today I've just been catching up on a bit of washing. The house was nice and tidy. No laundry mountain when I got home. I haven't got anything to show you. I bought a bit of biltong for Lawrence and the boys. I bought them a t-shirt each from Rip Curl, which is like a surf brand. Lawrence and William both worn theirs today. Josh was on the side. All 3 loved the t-shirts. And that was it. I now have the daunting task of contacting KLM, because they need to compensate me a lot for, 2 bumped flights and a delayed. I can't face it today. I've edited the vlog, I've got some washing on, and I've showered, I've had a real good scrub. I need to go and get a facial. My skin is a mess. It just feels horrible. But I'll see what tomorrow brings. But anyway, I thought I'd just carry on filming for the rest of the week if I do anything, and then I'll just be picking up the regular vlog. But yeah, that's been my adventure. My gosh, what a whirlwind, what a whirlwind. It's nice, I've arrived and it's sunny here, albeit cold. I'm quite cold now, so I might put an extra layer on. I think it's also because I'm just tired. Have I got anything else to... I think I've brought you up to speed now with everything I've done. I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty much... If things crop up between now and the end of the vlog, I'll tell you about them. But yeah, I haven't got any other news from home. Everything's just ticked along nicely. I've not had the urge to do any crafting. I've just got no inclination. Oh, my bracelet's come undone. I've just noticed that. Like I've got a Pandora bangle and the catch has come open. Yeah, I'm looking behind you. I've got all like, bits of knitting and crochet, and I'm like, not interested. I think I'm just too tired. You can hear my throat's a bit hoarse. I woke up this morning with quite a sore throat, but that's if I've been snoring all night, no doubt, no wonder. Two of my colleagues got real stinky colds, like halfway through the week. The rest of us, touch wood, have been fine. And apart from the stomach issue, okay. I took my vitamins religiously every day, C, D and zinc, and then mocha. And I think, yeah, I even packed enough underwear. So even the extra days, I had clean knickers. You'll be pleased to know. And I had enough clothes, although the last 2 days I did wear strange colour combinations, but you're in Africa. Everything's just colourful and a mishmash, it's fine. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling now because I'm feeling like I'm really, really croaky, and I might make myself a cup of coffee. I think I'm going to make dinner tonight. Lawrence probably needs a break. And I've took some bratwurst out, so I might do a nice, like a sausage casserole or something. I'm in the mood for hearty food. I've ate really, really well in Rwanda and South Africa, but I'm just ready for just a bit of home cooking, Anyway, right, I'm going to stop waffling. Let's see what tomorrow brings if I go off out pottering about. We'll see. I'll see you later. Good morning. I think I mentioned when I filmed yesterday that I'm free today. I've got a day off. Well, day off. It is my short day anyway. I definitely needed it. Gosh, the sky is so white. It's actually hurting my eyes. Anyway, waffle. I have decided I need to go out of the house, just have a walk and get a bit of fresh air. It's 10 degrees. I have been so cold the last few days, like really cold. And the kids are walking around in shorts and I'm like, so anyway, I've only got a thin t-shirt on and this thicker coat just to layer. So I should be okay. I'm not going out long. I'm popping to Amstelveen because I saw in my notifications on Facebook that today is a Stoffenmarkt, a fabric or material market going on. And I don't need anything. If you've watched me a while, you know I've got a massive stash of fabric. However, I just don't have fabric stores local to me. I have to sort of trek to go anywhere. So I'm just going to have a walk around. If something catches my eye and the price is good, then I'll buy it, put it in stash. That's pretty much all I'm going to do as far as fabric goes. And then a couple of other things. I bought new tweezers a couple of months ago and they seem to have disappeared. They've probably fallen down somewhere. Can't find them anywhere. I searched high and low before I went to Africa. I took my old ones with me, which are useless. So I'm also on a mission. I'm just going to buy a new pair. The good thing is, I don't know if I mentioned this, I've got a little bald patch in this eyebrow and it was really bothering me. To the point that I was even considering having the little patch microbladed. Call me vain, I don't know, it felt really noticeable and I was self-conscious, and I pencil my eyebrows a little bit, but just a smudge, I don't sort of, this is pretty much what my eyebrows look like, and just a little bit filled in. But even filling them in was starting to become, a bit of a task. Anyway, waffle. I've noticed that the little patch has started to fill in. It's growing hair again. I've looked it up and I think the most likely explanation for it is stress. So the fact that it's now sort of growing in on its own is a good sign. My cleaner's coming today. I've left Lawrence with some instructions. I'll be home well before she arrives. But there's my suitcases are still on the floor in the lounge. It's just a process I have. I just open them up in the lounge, take all the dirty stuff out. So there's only shoes and heavy stuff in there, or dry cleaning. So I've asked Lawrence to dump the cases on my bed, and I can empty all the shoes out, and then the cases are done, empty. I've given the bathroom a tidy up so she can just get in there and clean. I've had a quick whip around my bedroom, just again tidied up so she can clean. Lawrence is in charge of the kitchen, and she's kind of used to us now. She knows that we have a lot of clutter, so it works well. We're very easy with her, you know. I'm not one of these sort of like, you know, you forgot this, can do that. That's not me at all. She's very experienced, she knows what she's doing, and yeah, it goes well, and I'm super happy with her. It looks like now that you know, I have a regular spot with her on Wednesday afternoon, so that's good, because it was getting a bit sort of when she could fit me in, but it seems we're consistent now after the summer, so she's probably jiggled some people around. Maybe she's stopped cleaning for somebody, I don't know, but yeah, that's good. I've looked at my agenda, and it looks like Friday. I have to double check it again because now I'm doubting something in the back of my mind, but it looks like Friday I have an open day. I'm clear. I don't have any appointments to do. I think that's good, because I'm going into the office tomorrow, so I'll probably, you know, I just need to readjust. It's been a lot. It's been a little bit too much. I think if I hadn't have gone to the UK right before I went to Africa, I would have been okay. But I think, you know, sort of 3 lots of travelling was a tiny bit much, and with all the, you know, the kerfuffle of getting myself home. What else? It's Joshua's birthday this weekend, I think Saturday. We're not doing anything special for him. He doesn't want to do anything. He asked for the latest new AirPods, because his old ones are knackered now. So Lawrence he bought them whilst I was away. He asked for a game for his Xbox. He's kind of hoodwinked Lawrence into buying it already. So I'll probably just give him a bit of cash, you know, and if he wants to go out partying this weekend with his mates, he kind of do. And then Linda and Ronald are coming over on Sunday for dinner. I'm going to make dinner for us. Probably won't be anything elaborate, but you know, it's just more that the 4 of us haven't been together for ages, and Lawrence and Ronald, her husband, get on really well. So, and obviously Linda's one of my besties, so that'll be nice. I'm not sure if any of her 2 kids, their adults, will join, because it's actually her youngest, Rosa's birthday on Sunday. She's a day, no, am I telling a big fib? No, I've just got completely mixed up. Rosa is the 12th, that's right. She's 3 days younger than Joshua. So whilst I'm out, I'll buy a little pressie for Rose, and then if I see her, I see, and if I don't, my mum can take it. So that's pretty much where I'm up to. I'm hoping the parking's not an issue. Shouldn't be. I've timed it just right. A lot of parents don't work on Wednesday afternoons, and it's now 10 to 12. So I've timed it right that I'm going to miss the people just going out on their lunch break, and I've kind of missed the parents because they all would have had to rush back to school to pick up the kids. So hopefully parking's a dream, and can have a little walk round. It's dry today. It feels a bit damp, the air, but it's fine. I feel a little bit croaky, but I feel good. I'm just tired, that's all. And tiredness, well, I'll be going to bed early tonight. All right, I'm going to stop waffling. I'll see you in a while. Good morning. I'm feeling so much better. I went to the office yesterday. I must say, by 4 o'clock I was dead on my feet, so I just wrapped up and went home. Still sat in traffic, so didn't make a blind bit of difference, but at least it wasn't pitch black when I drove home, so that was good. Next week I need to go in Monday and Tuesday, so anyway, it's good. I've caught up on everything. I'm feeling a bit froggy. It's just started a light spit, and I haven't got a proper coat with me. I don't know if I've got an umbrella in the car. Anyway, I'm mainly in the car. I'm off to Oh, I bought a body warmer. It's just annoying me because it's like digging in my like my jawline there, so I keep sort of tucking it under. I don't wear like foundation and stuff, but I've got like a bronzing powder on, so no doubt it'll end up caked in it. But anyway, it wasn't expensive. I'm sorry, I can't remember what I paid for it, but it was from C&A. I don't know, I think because it's damp, I'm feeling a bit not hoarse, but just froggy, croaky, I'm feeling croaky. Anyway, I'm on the way. I've got an appointment at the shoe place again. It's just what they call a control, and also just like a checkup. And also, when I was last there, I said I could still order another pair of shoes. To be honest with you, I have worn the shoes that I bought from them, or well, I kind of bought. My insurance paid for a lot of it. They just feel too big. They just don't feel like they're, not like lengthwise, actually length a little bit, but that's fine. But widthwise, they just feel like they're just not, they just don't feel like they're supporting my foot properly. So I might have to make another appointment and go and have them totally remeasured again, because I'm not convinced that we're working with the right measurements. Anyway, we'll see. I'll tell you all about it when I get back later. The other thing, I had a notification that the brocante, the atelier in the village opposite to where I'm going, wouldn't you know, in Risenhout, Karin is having a Christmas, she's opened a Christmas shop. And I mentioned this, I filmed there, I think I did, I bought a couple of bits from her. Actually, I bought a nice wooden candlestick, that's what I bought, before I went to Africa. And whilst I was there, she mentioned that she would open up for, maybe 1 or 2 times for a Christmas shop. So she's closed her business as such, but she's decided, because she enjoys it, she's got the space, that why not just open for special occasions. So the last I was there was like a autumn kind of vibe. And I've seen pictures on Facebook, it looks really nice and Christmassy. So even if I don't buy anything, I'm just going to support her, because I've known Karen for many years now. And yeah, she really does not mind me filming that, she's really sweet. So we'll have a little mooch around there. And then for the rest of the day, I'm kind of wondering if I'm already in this direction to pop to the market in Amstelveen. I'm kind of wondering if I should do that, or I might just order online. I've got this, I can't remember the name of it, but I've got this really cute free crochet bunny pattern. It's like one of those with the locked ears. It's super cute, and the pattern looks very simple, but you need like chenille, like a chunky knit. And I know that the woolman, come on, why have you stopped? The woolman who's on the market on Friday, he has had chenille in, but bearing in mind with the weather looking a bit grotty, I might just order online. I don't know if I can be bothered walking around the market. The other thing, you can tell I'm starting to feel better now. I've been thinking about my craft room, and what I'm veering towards is having what they call a cloffice or a cloffice, which is basically a closet office. And I've got a spare Billy bookcase in the guest room, the spare room. So I'm thinking, it's got all the kids' old books from when they were small. I'm thinking, can I miss this? I might just, I've been meaning to clear that out for ages. I might clear that out and get Lawrence to stack it on top of the Billy bookcase that I've already got in the craft room, and get rid of the open shelving as such. Well, not open, but the wall shelves. Oh gosh, I've gone in at a really bad angle here. Yeah, I'll straighten up. It's fine. Yes, I know, I'm not parked good. It's beeping at me. Oh, I'm quite early. So I'm thinking, I've not shown my very messy craft room for years, but I'm thinking that I might, it's a good bit of parking, perfect door. I'm thinking I might, so hold on, let me backtrack. The Billy bookcase that I have in my craft room has currently got fabric in it and on it, and there's a couple of like just, you know, free like open wall shelves above it. One's got fabric and one's got junk, actually Lawrence's junk. So what I'm thinking is I might clear out the bookcase that's in the spare room, because it's just books and a bit of junk on the top. So it'd be good to just do that anyway. And then on the opposite side of the where the fabric's stored now, I've got just wall shelves with my yarn on it. So I might just get rid of all them, move the Billy bookcase from the one side of the room to the other, and then stack the other one on top of it, because measurement wise it fits really well in there. And then I'll have to have a really good clear out, a sort out. And then maybe I might need to order one more, because the Billy bookcase I've got, it's like a double length width, and I might order a single and then like make it a bit modular. Eventually I could put doors on them if I felt inclined, but anyway, are you with me? Am I making sense? And then, so put the two shelves here, and then where the old bookcase was, take the wall shelves down. And then I've been measuring it up, and I've found online one of these closet offices that is actually the same. It's a little bit marginally a little bit slimmer than the Billy bookcase, and it's one of those with a fold out desk. So I'm thinking I could actually set up my little home office in there, and then when I'm not working I fold it all away. But then that will leave my big table under the window, big, I'm in the box room, free. So then I can get myself organised again, because actually where my computers are all set up at the moment, that's actually my sewing table. And I've got the sewing table on it's like an L shape. It's like this sort of shape. This is so this is the wide table, and this is like the thinner bit. It's like an L shape. And this one, I think that's like 50 centimeters deep. It's not very deep. That was actually my crafting table. I've got like a cutting mat on there, and then I could order a pegboard and get everything like scissors and whatnot hung up on the wall. So it would still be a small space. It would stop that whole debate about what to do with the upstairs office that's in the attic that isn't an office. And then Lawrence said, it's not fair, you've already got one room and you've got your workshop at the art centre, which is kind of his storage area now. But anyway, so it'll solve that argument, and then in his own good time he can just convert that little room into whatever he wants. I think he might have an office up there, and then I've got everything contained and compact in my little box room. And actually, if I've got storage and I've got a home for things, it will actually be quite nice in there. And do the cabinetry all wide. So anyway, when I get home later, I'm going to have a chat with Lawrence to see what he thinks. So that's also on the agenda today. I'm kind of, well, as I was saying, you can tell I'm starting to feel a little bit more like my old self, because I'm starting to feel a little bit more fired up now about my craft room. On the crafting front, I've not really done anything. I picked up a little bit of knitting last night, and that's about it. But I'm thinking if I order the chenille, I'm not going to the market. If I order the chenille, that will be a small crochet project to work on. I've got my nine knoll patch blankets finish. I've got my Ariana cardigans finish, which both of these are almost done. They're both almost done. So I can get my crochet on the go, and then I'm almost finished on the area shawl. I'm on the short rows now, the short rows. So if I can clear a lot of that stuff off during November, then I'll be good to focus on Christmassy stuff. That's what I'm hoping. I don't know. Have I just waffled away? Probably. All right, I will catch you in a while. gosh, it's so cold outside. So I'm just recycling. I went to, so you would have seen some footage. Karen's shop was all Christmassy and festive. It was lovely. Had a good catch up with her. The shoe people made another adjustment on the insoles, and now they feel much better. I didn't feel like, I felt like on the toe area it was too big, and when he felt, he said, oh yeah, I can see it. When I walked, when I put my foot down, it was, my toes were splaying, and I was getting ankle pains. Anyway, so that's fixed. What's the time? I need to remember to email them because I can order a new pair. I think I'm going to go for some boots. I said, can I just choose any because I've got cankles? And he said we can do something for that. Let's see. And then after, so I did the shoe place, went to Karen's. You should have seen some footage. And then I had to go into the village, our centre, to pick up a few things. And then I thought, well, I'll just see if Natalie's home because she lives nearby, and she was, so I had a quick coffee and a catch up with her. So anyway, of course, I did buy a few bits and bobs whilst I was there. Josh, close the door, please. It's freezing. That's Joshua. He's not coming on video, but I think you saw his reflection in the fridge door. Got a lovely shopper off Karen. Isn't that nice? To put my bits and bobs in. But before I walked into the shop, she had a basket with these, €2 a piece. So I've got a nice crown, which I'm going to paint, and this lovely tray. What a bargain! So I'm gonna faff around and do something with them. And then I bought a couple of, well, there's some of the things are not quite Christmassy. I could use them all year round. Oh, she's wrapped everything nicely for me. Bless her. Yeah, so these, yeah, that's it. So there's two things. It's a matching pair that actually I could use these all year round. So they're not like totally Christmassy, but I just really like them. So I've got a pair of these little like topiary vases. Isn't that pretty? Beautiful. So two of them, and the crown and the little tray. And then this caught my eye, so I grabbed it on the way out. I said, oh, I'll stick this in my basket too, which is adorable. How nice is that? It's like that old vintagey. Oh, it's even got little feet. I think it probably was quite an expensive Christmas ornament at some point. Isn't that nice? So I'm gonna put them away because obviously it's not Christmas now. And at some point I will be decorating the fireside for Christmas like I usually do. So I'm going to wrap these, put them in a cupboard out of the way. I think I'll leave the crown out so I might do something with that over the weekend. We'll see. But yeah, sorry, I'm rustling. I think at this point I'm going to wrap up the vlog. Can't say it's the weekly vlog, but anyway, I'm going to wrap up part 2 of the 2 videos that I filmed during my trips away, and what I filmed for the rest of the week. So if you're still here at the end, well done. Thanks for sticking it out. I will be starting the regular weekly vlog as usual, business as usual. I'm not sure when I'll start filming, but you'll see everything I get up to next week's vlog. And don't forget, if you haven't yet subscribed, please could you consider hitting the subscribe button and joining our Dawn's Days community. And don't forget, say hello in the comments. I do read everyone. I tried to reply back, although with being away, the comments kind of ran away with me a little bit, but I will get round to replying. But just know that I have been reading them. So thank you for that. And feel free to talk amongst yourselves, make friends. That's what we're all here for. Stay safe. I hope you've all had a good week. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.